You can roll a ball, you can roll sushi, you can roll a turd in sparkles, but it's still a turd. But today's video is all about rolling for movement. Let's get into it. We can add more speed and it gets a little bit more acrobatic. Like so. Everyone can roll, and you've already done some rolling as a baby, but you might be one of those adults who hasn't rolled for a while. So let's get a feel for it, shall we? Backward shoulder roll, come with me. Whoosh. That's how it feels. Now let's break it down. Let's kick it off with the forwards and backwards shoulder roll. This is very practical, and I love teaching this one because it's great if you have a fall. You can transfer the force and the momentum into a roll and avoid injuring yourself. Skateboarders use this, parkour athletes use this. It's popular in self-defense, but it's just a very cool skill to have because it can help you avoid injuries and get used to moving around on the floor. So let's take a look at the mechanics and then we'll break it down. What we're looking for with these shoulder rolls is a head to the side, contact with the back of the shoulder, and floor contact moving from the shoulder to the opposite hip. So if we're on this shoulder, that heads to the side, and the floor is moving down my back until it gets to the opposite hip. So a great drill to get a feel for this is to start off with one glute cheek on the ground, or maybe you call it fanny if you're in the US. Over here, fanny means vagina, so that gets weird. But we go from the glute to the opposite shoulder, head goes to the side. I want you to just get a feel for this with your hands, nice and slow. And back down. Do a couple of those. And back down. Switch sides, make sure to do the other side. This time I've got my left glute on the ground, which means I have to put my head to the other side, finishing on my right shoulder. If you're gonna finish on the right shoulder, the head needs to be pointed to the left to make the space for the exit. Nice and slow. Notice the head is to the side, not like in a gymnastics roll, which is very linear, where they tuck their head in and they roll straight. We're not doing that one this time round because the shoulder roll is just a much more versatile and practical roll to learn. We're also going to join it into some flows later on in this video. The next drill I want you to have a play with is the shoulder stand. This just helps develop sensitivity in the backs of the shoulders, those contact points where we make initial contact with the ground. Or if we're doing it backwards, it's the last thing that leaves the ground. So what we need to do for this is the same setup as the last exercise. Roll over onto our shoulders, keep our hips high, our feet off the ground, and just have a play with this shoulder stand position. See if you can swap shoulders to the other side and back again. All right, get out of it. Get out of it. Okay, let's take a look from the other side. Rolling down, up onto my shoulder. I've got the back of my hand on the ground and my fingers for support. You have to organize your center of mass over your base of support. You can play with leg positions, like in handstand. And then I want you to see if you can transfer over to the other shoulder. Have a play, find that balance. Like so. From here we can start to introduce the full roll from our squat position. So let's start with the forward front roll. From our squat position, we can put the first knee on the ground, make a diamond with the hands out in front, put the second knee on the ground, tuck the shoulder, in this case it will be my left shoulder, by collapsing the elbow first, putting the head to the side, contact with the back of the shoulder, rolling slowly to the opposite hip, and then with our exit, we can either have our shin tucked in underneath, like so, or which we can also then press up to feet, or we can just start with our feet on the ground and exit 2 feet. With a bit more speed, it'll start to look like this. Like so. Like so. Other side. Other side. See how it can be nice and gentle and smooth. What I'm looking for is that flexion in the back so that I roll without slamming my pelvis. If you have this extended or any sort of anterior pelvic tilt, you may slam, you may find it, you get this painful slamming sensation. We don't want that. If you tuck the pelvis under, a nice posterior pelvic tilt, and you get that flexion, you'll find your body will roll. It'll make that lovely dish bowl shape. The backwards roll is just the forwards roll in reverse. So if we're looking at that from our standing position, we can crouch down into our squat, post off our hand, put that first glute or hip to the ground. Then we can nice and slowly zigzag, make that diagonal line, feet go over to our opposite shoulder, looking to make a diamond with the hands, put the knees down, feet on the ground, push away, like so. We can add a little bit more speed to that. And we can finish on our feet. It's okay to finish on your knees at first, and then slowly we can add more speed and it gets a little bit more acrobatic. Like so. There's so many different types of rolls, but let's just look at a side roll variation in case you find yourself moving in a lateral direction. Firstly, a warm-up drill for this, which I got from my good friend Neil Teisner. I'll put a link to his work below. He has some really in-depth stuff on rolling on his YouTube channel, which is excellent. He calls this drill the boneless spiral. So from our bellies, we sweep the arms in one direction and we rotate onto our backs. And then we go back the other way, trying to not touch the feet or the hands on the ground. Like so. Give you another angle. Like so. From this boneless spiral exercise, we can start to create a nice looking side roll, which looks like this. We step, hands go down, fold, roll, and exit out the other side. This way, we step, hands go down, elbow, collapse, other way. Bit more speed. What can give this a nice aesthetic is the patterning of the legs. So just to break down what's happening there, I'm taking a step in the direction I want to travel to the side. I'm using my diamond shaped hand placement to go down, collapsing an elbow, gently placing a knee, a hip to the ground, and then I sweep the back leg long. And as it goes, I sweep the other leg long, rolling back up onto this elbow, palm, the other hand, creating that diamond shape again to place off, and the momentum of this leg carries me through, and I can pivot out. Like so. If you trail the feet along the ground, it can make for a nice sound and a nice aesthetic, and it can feel really good. You can have more touch of the floor. Now we have a forward shoulder roll, a backward shoulder roll, and a side roll. We can start to play with those three things. A good drill to do, put some music on, put a timer on for 60 seconds, 90 seconds, and then just keep rolling and stepping in no particular order, and just see how many different entries you can find using those different rolls. So we can just start to play with our rolls. Like so. And just keep that momentum going for the 60 seconds, 90 seconds, and you'll just start to get used to adapting from different positions, learning how to step into your rolls, finding the entries from unusual places. So this is a great drill just to start to create a little bit of improvisation. If you have some other locomotion vocabulary, then you can also add rolls into your flows. If you don't have any other stuff, then check out some of my other videos. But for example, we could work with a hop, a monkey kick, and a roll to finish. That is an example of a 3-skill closed chain system. Hey, good point. If you want to take a deeper dive into the locomotion stuff, check out my online course, Locomotion Flow 2.0. A link to that epic course is down below for your convenience. But that little flow again, hop, monkey kick, roll. There's no limit to how far you can advance this stuff. For a more advanced combination of the back shoulder roll and the forward shoulder roll, check out this video. I'll put a link here somewhere. I'm still figuring out which direction to point when I make these videos, on the combination of the back and front shoulder rolls with a twist in the middle, which looks pretty epic. Once you really get a feel for your rolls, start adding them into some more intricate or complex locomotion flows. Once again, if you need some ideas for this or some other skills, check out my other videos on this channel, or check out my online course, which will teach you dozens and dozens of skills and how to build them into amazing sequences and combinations, and you get really fit and have a fun time doing it. Well, that's it for today's video. I hope you got something out of it. If you did, smash the like button, give me a thumbs up, the thumbs up button, just smash it. And also subscribe to this channel. It really helps me grow the channel, get movement out there to more people who need it, who want to feel better. Drop me a comment if you've got any questions below, and check out my online course, Locomotion Flow 2.0. Link in the description. See you in the next video.